Gordon Hill's scathing verdict on Manchester United, a Rolls-Royce club with a mini-engine. Manchester United's dismal 2024-25 season hit another low on Sunday as Ruben Amorim's side fell to a 1-0 defeat against Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The loss, which came courtesy of an early James Maddison goal, leaves United languishing in 15th place in the Premier League table after 25 games, just 12 points clear of the relegation zone, and a staggering 15 points behind fourth-placed Manchester City. The result has sparked widespread criticism from fans and pundits alike, with former United winger Gordon Hill delivering a particularly brutal assessment of the club's current state. Taking to X, formerly Twitter, Hill didn't hold back in his critique, comparing United to a luxury car with an underpowered engine and questioning the team's tactical approach under Amorim. Hill's blunt assessment: "We could go to Fantasy Island and still lose." Gordon Hill, who made over 100 appearances for United in the 1970s, is no stranger to speaking his mind. Following Sunday's defeat, he took to social media to express his frustration with the team's performance, using a series of pointed analogies to highlight the gulf between the club's stature and its current on-pitch struggles. "We could go to Fantasy Island and still lose," Hill wrote, capturing the sense of despair among United fans after yet another disappointing result. He followed up with another tweet, comparing United to a luxury car with an engine that simply doesn't match its prestige. "As I see it, Manchester United at this moment is a Rolls-Royce club," Hill said, "with a mini-engine. It ain't gonna work." Hill's comments reflect the growing disconnect between United's status as one of the world's biggest clubs and their inability to compete at the highest level. Despite boasting a rich history, a global fan base, and significant financial resources, the team's performances on the pitch have been anything but elite. A call for simplicity, Hill's tactical suggestion. In addition to his criticism, Hill also offered a potential solution to United's woes, advocating for a return to a more traditional formation. "I would play a 4-4-2, trusted and tried," he tweeted. The 4-4-2 formation, a staple of United's success under Sir Alex Ferguson, is often associated with simplicity, balance, and directness. Hill's suggestion highlights the need for Amorim to find a system that maximizes the strengths of his players while minimizing their weaknesses. However, whether Amorim will heed Hill's advice remains to be seen. The Portuguese manager has largely stuck to his preferred tactical setup since arriving at Old Trafford, but the lack of results has raised questions about its effectiveness in the Premier League. Amorim's uphill battle: a job tougher than expected. Ruben Amorim's appointment as Manchester United manager in November 2024 was met with cautious optimism. The former Sporting CP boss had earned a reputation as one of Europe's most promising young coaches, leading his former club to 2 Liga Portugal titles and implementing an attractive high-intensity style of play. However, Amorim has found the task of reviving United far more challenging than anticipated. The team's struggles in the Premier League have been compounded by a lack of consistency, individual errors, and a squad that appears ill-suited to his tactical demands. Gordon Hill was quick to defend Amorim, insisting that the problems at United predate the Portuguese manager's arrival. Amorim has come in and is trying to put things into play, but it is not happening, and he did not realize what a tough job it is, Hill said. "No person or manager could change what has happened only in the past few months. This has been there for some time before he arrived." Hill's comments underscore the scale of the challenge facing Amorim. The issues at United, from recruitment failures to a lack of identity, have been years in the making, and it will take more than a few months to address them. The bigger picture: a club in crisis. Manchester United's struggles this season are symptomatic of deeper issues within the club. Despite significant investment in the squad, the team has failed to gel, with key players underperforming and a lack of leadership on and off the pitch. The defeat to Tottenham was just the latest in a string of disappointing results that have left United closer to the relegation zone than the top four. With just 8 wins from 25 Premier League games, the team's form has been nothing short of woeful. While Amorim has enjoyed some success in cup competitions, including the Europa League and FA Cup, his inability to translate that form to the Premier League has raised questions about his long-term future at the club. Looking ahead, a crucial period for United. As United prepare for their next Premier League fixture against Everton at Goodison Park, the pressure on Amorim's decision to make just one substitution, bringing on debutant Chido Obi for Casemiro in injury time, raised eyebrows among fans and pundits alike. The Portuguese manager's reluctance to make changes earlier in the game was seen as a missed opportunity to inject fresh energy and ideas into a struggling side. Manchester United ready to offer 150 million euros for the World Cup winner. Spanish news outlet Fichajes has reported that Manchester United are taking notice of Julian Alvarez and want to come up with a bumper offer of 150 million euros to sign the Argentine from Atletico Madrid in the summer transfer window. The 2022 FIFA World Cup winner joined the La Liga side in the previous summer transfer window after not getting consistent game time at Manchester City due to the presence of Erling Haaland. The Red Devils need an attacker who can play as a striker and also on the left side of the attack. Alvarez is just the player for that role. His energy is infectious, tirelessly pressing opponents and contributing both defensively and offensively. Alvarez's agility and quick feet allow him to dribble through defenses with ease. He has a keen eye for goals, capable of finishing from various angles and distances. His off-the-ball movement is exceptional, often finding space to exploit. Although not the tallest, he's effective in the air, and his work rate is second to none. Alvarez has scored 7 goals in 24 matches so far in the La Liga 2025 season. Overall, his goals scored per 90 minutes is 0.39. Moreover, Alvarez's total goals assists is 9 for this season. His goal involvement equates to 0.51 per 90 minutes. His non-penalty XG per 90 minutes is 0.40. The Argentine has played a total of 1,603 minutes in the La Liga so far this season. He will be a great signing for United. However, I do feel 150 million euros is still too high a figure for him. Despite his importance to Simeone's squad, Atletico Madrid won't be able to reject the offer for Alvarez if a figure of 150 million euros is offered to them, given that they signed the player for 75 million euros. So, it remains to be seen what happens finally regarding United's move for Alvarez. Manchester United transfer news. Red Devils to rival Man City for Serie A star. Manchester United are reportedly prepared to compete with local rivals Manchester City for Atalanta star Charles de Ketelaere. The Belgium international has rediscovered his best form since experiencing a difficult season with AC Milan in 2022. De Ketelaere failed to find the net and mustered just 1 assist in 40 competitive appearances for the Rossoneri after he joined the Italian Giants from Club Brugge in the summer of 2022. The attacking midfielder was allowed to move on loan to Atalanta for the 2024 season, scoring 14 goals and contributing 11 assists in 50 matches before he made the move permanent ahead of the current campaign. De Ketelaere has continued to showcase his quality for Gianpiero Gasparini's side, having registered 11 goals and 11 assists in 37 competitive matches this term. As a result of his impressive performances, the Belgian attacker is now being linked with a potential move to the Premier League. A recent report claimed that Manchester City have identified De Ketelaere as a potential candidate to replace his compatriot Kevin De Bruyne at the Etihad Stadium. De Bruyne is out of contract at the end of the season, meaning he will walk away for nothing unless he agrees to sign an extension in the next few months. According to Team Talk, Manchester United are set to battle their local rivals in the race to secure De Ketelaere's signature. The Red Devils are said to be keeping a close eye on the player's situation as they weigh up whether to make a summer move. The report claims that Atalanta's asking price will not be too extravagant for a player who is under contract until the summer of 2027, although they could increase their valuation to take into account the fact that Milan have a 10% sell-on clause. Can De Ketelaere fit into Amorim system? Man United boss Ruben Amorim has stuck to his preferred 3-4-2-1 formation since taking over the reins in November, despite concerns about whether that is the best system for the current group of players. However, the former Sporting Lisbon manager will want to recruit players that fit his approach during the summer transfer window. De Ketelaere could fit into two positions in Amram's system, including as one of the two attackers that tend to play behind the main striker. The 23-year-old could be used as the main striker, having proven he can operate as a forward throughout his career. John Obi Mikel slams Jadon Sancho's Chelsea form. He's deceived us. Jadon Sancho's tumultuous spell at Manchester United came to an end in January 2024 when the winger joined Chelsea on a loan. Former Chelsea midfielder John Obi Mikel has now publicly criticized Sancho, accusing him of deceiving fans with his early promise and questioning his commitment on the pitch. Sancho's struggles at Chelsea have only reinforced Manchester United's decision to cut their losses and move him on. For the Red Devils, the £25 million fee represents a significant loss on the £73 million they paid Borussia Dortmund in 2021. But it also provides a much-needed boost to the club's finances as they look to rebuild under Ruben Amorim. Sancho's Chelsea struggles, a shadow of his former self. When Jadon Sancho arrived at Chelsea, there was hope that he could rediscover the form that made him one of Europe's most exciting young talents during his time at Borussia Dortmund. However, his performances have been underwhelming, with just 2 goals to his name, the same number as Manchester United centre-back Harry Maguire this season. Sancho's lack of impact has drawn criticism from fans and pundits alike, with John Obi Mikel becoming the latest to voice his frustration. Speaking on his podcast, the former Chelsea midfielder did not hold back in his assessment of Sancho's contributions. Jadon Sancho, he's come on. He's deceived us with a couple of games, Mikel said. We thought, we are getting this Jadon Sancho from Dortmund. He's gone. I don't know what's happened to Jadon. He's disappeared, off the grid. Mikel highlighted Sancho's inability to influence games, pointing out his reluctance to take on defenders and create chances. He takes the ball, he doesn't go past people anymore, he doesn't create chances, he doesn't help the team as much as he should be. Defensive lapses and lack of leadership. Mikel also criticized Sancho's defensive contributions, particularly in Chelsea's recent back-to-back defeats to Brighton. The Nigerian midfielder expressed his frustration with Sancho's failure to track runners and make tackles, which he believes contributed to the team's defensive vulnerabilities. There was no one telling Sancho for the first goal, "You should have tackled for that." I saw a lot of players, the body language was horrible. People with their hands on their waist, Mikel said. He added, the third goal, they passed the ball between Sancho and Cucurella. Jadon didn't go with the runner. This is the responsibility of the players. This is not the manager's fault. Mikel's comments underscore the growing concerns about Sancho's work rate and attitude, issues that also plagued his time at Manchester United. A fresh start gone wrong. Sancho's move to Chelsea was supposed to be an opportunity to reignite his career after a disappointing spell at Old Trafford. However, his struggles in West London have only reinforced the perception that he lacks the consistency and mentality to succeed in the Premier League. Speaking earlier in the season, Sancho expressed his desire for freedom at Chelsea. But Mikel's scathing assessment suggests that the winger has failed to embrace the responsibility that comes with playing for a top club. Sancho said he wanted freedom at Chelsea. But he is not free of the spotlight and scrutiny, letting fans down at his new club, Mikel remarked. Manchester United's perspective. Cutting their losses. For Manchester United, Sancho's struggles at Chelsea have validated their decision to part ways with the winger. While the £25 million fee represents a significant loss on their initial investment, it also provides the club with much-needed funds to reinvest in the squad. Sancho's time at Old Trafford was marked by flashes of brilliance, but ultimately defined by inconsistency and a lack of impact in big moments. His inability to replicate his Dortmund form in the Premier League has been a source of frustration for United fans. And his performances at Chelsea suggest that the issues run deeper than just the environment at Old Trafford. As Ruben Amorim looks to rebuild United's squad, the funds from Sancho's sale could prove crucial in addressing the team's weaknesses and bringing in players who can make an immediate impact. The bigger picture. Lessons learned. Jadon Sancho's career serves as a cautionary tale about the challenges of transitioning from one league to another and the importance of mentality in achieving success at the highest level. Once regarded as one of the brightest talents in European football, Sancho's decline has been a stark reminder that talent alone is not enough to thrive in the Premier League. For Manchester United, the focus must now shift to identifying players who not only possess technical ability, but also the resilience and determination to succeed under pressure. As the club looks to move forward under Ruben Amorim, the lessons learned from the Sancho saga will undoubtedly shape their approach to recruitment in the coming years. Casemiro's struggles under the microscope. Casemiro, who was restored to the starting 18th due to the absences of Kobbie Mainoo, Manuel Ugarte, and Toby Collier, endured a difficult evening in North London. The Brazilian midfielder, once hailed as one of the best defensive midfielders in the world, looked a shadow of his former self as he struggled to cope with Tottenham's dynamic attacking play. According to SofaScore, Casemiro lost possession 12 times, made 2 fouls, and was dribbled past 4 times during the match. His inability to keep up with the pace of the game was evident, and he often appeared isolated and overwhelmed in midfield. However, Micah Richards believes that Casemiro's struggles are symptomatic of a wider issue within the team, rather than a reflection of his individual decline. Richards' defense of Casemiro. He needs help in there. Speaking on Match of the Day 2, Richards argued that Casemiro is being unfairly singled out for criticism and that his teammates must shoulder some of the blame for United's midfield woes. A lot of people are quick to call Casemiro, but he needs help in there, United's midfield, Richards said. His legs are not what they were, but he's still got quality on the ball. Richards pointed to the lack of support Casemiro received from his teammates, particularly in Amorim's three-at-the-back system. He highlighted the failure of United's center-backs to engage with Tottenham's attackers, which left Casemiro exposed and outnumbered in midfield. When you play three-at-the-back, the whole point is that one of your center-backs should engage. They don't engage, then you had Spurs players in the pockets, and you had 3 center-halves doing nothing, 3 center-halves marking 1 player. The former England international also criticized the lack of cohesion between Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes, who often found themselves too far apart to effectively control the midfield. To top it off, look at the distance between Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, Richards added. They just didn't get it right. Did Amorim ask Bruno to play to the right? You can get your structure in there, and if Fernandes is going to jump, you need one of your center halves to jump as well. You've all got to work together. Instead, They were working as individuals. A systemic issue. United's tactical struggles. Richard's analysis underscores the systemic issues plaguing Manchester United under Ruben Amorim. The Portuguese manager's tactical setup, which relies heavily on a three-man defense and a high-pressing midfield, has failed to deliver consistent results this season. The lack of understanding and coordination between the players has been a recurring theme, with individuals often appearing isolated and unsure of their roles. This was evident against Tottenham, where United's midfield was repeatedly overrun, and their defense failed to provide adequate support. For Casemiro, the challenge has been particularly acute. Once a dominant force in midfield, the 32-year-old has struggled to adapt to the physical and tactical demands of Amorim's system. While his technical ability and experience remain valuable assets, his declining mobility has made him a liability in certain situations. Manchester United plot move for the next Erling Haaland. Manchester Untied once more look to Norway with another promising youngster in their sights. Since last summer, Manchester United have been firmly linked with Norwegian youngster Sverre Halseth Nypan. The 18-year-old midfielder has been labeled as the next Martin Odegaard, drawing significant attention from Europe's elite. The youngster flew to Manchester in January, unfortunately for United fans, meeting with local rivals Manchester City. The citizens posed a plan for him to sign with City and go on loan for the rest of the season. However, Nypan wasn't on board for the move. As a result, he's opted to remain with his hometown club Rosenborg, having grabbed 8 goals and 10 assists in 33 games, securing 4th place in the league. However, it's another Norwegian youngster who is now the center of United's interest. On Theminute.com has now reported that United are looking to Nordjylland's teenage attacker, Sindre Valle Egeli. The 18-year-old is primarily a right winger, however has been utilized on both flanks, grabbing 5 goals and 3 assists in 19 games this season. Egeli also has the ability to play as a striker, being likened to his fellow countryman, Erling Haaland. This versatility makes the youngster a prime target for Amorim and his system, as well as Ineos's priority of signing youngsters with high potential. However, United are looking at having to bid upwards of £12.5 million, with Dutch side Feyenoord having a bid for this value rejected in the winter window. United aren't the only suitors hoping to nab him, though, with Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, and Newcastle also interested. Amorim will be hoping United can generate the funds to sign the youngster, with the hope of his potential being realized to add to the list of emerging talent which will make up the next class of Red Devils. The road ahead. Can Amorim turn things around? As Manchester United prepare for their next Premier League fixture, the pressure on Ruben Amorim continues to mount. The Portuguese manager, who arrived at Old Trafford with a reputation as one of Europe's most promising young coaches, has found the task of reviving United far more challenging than anticipated. For Amorim, the key to turning things around lies in finding the right balance and structure within his team. Whether that means reverting to a more traditional formation, making changes to his starting 11, or bringing in new players in the summer, the Portuguese manager must act quickly to address the team's shortcomings. Conclusion: a team in need of unity. Micah Richards' defense of Casemiro serves as a reminder that Manchester United's struggles cannot be attributed to any one player. The team's issues are systemic, rooted in a lack of cohesion, understanding, and collective effort. For United to climb out of their current predicament, they must find a way to work together as a unit, rather than as a collection of individuals. Only then can they hope to rediscover the form and identity that once made them one of the most feared teams in English football. Ruben Amorim pushes for Harry Maguire's new contract as United plans summer rebuild. Manchester United are reportedly considering offering Harry Maguire a new long-term contract just weeks after triggering a 12-month extension in his current deal. According to Give Me Sports sources, the club sees securing Maguire's future as a strategic move to strengthen their financial flexibility and squad depth ahead of a crucial summer transfer window. The decision reflects Ruben Amorim's faith in the England international, who has become a key figure in the Portuguese manager's plans since his arrival at Old Trafford. Maguire's resurgence under Amorim has been one of the few bright spots in an otherwise challenging season for the Red Devils, and the club is now keen to reward his consistency and leadership with a revised deal. Harry Maguire's Manchester United career has been a roller coaster since his £80 million move from Leicester City in 2019. Once hailed as the most expensive defender in history, Maguire faced intense scrutiny and criticism during Erik ten Hag's tenure, eventually losing the captain's armband and falling down the pecking order. However, the arrival of Ruben Amorim has breathed new life into Maguire's United career. The 31-year-old has been a mainstay in Amorim's backline, showcasing the leadership, aerial dominance, and composure that made him one of England's most reliable defenders. Amorim's tactical shift to a back three formation has particularly suited Maguire, with the Portuguese manager describing him as perfect for the central role in the defensive trio. Maguire's ability to organize the defense, read the game, and play out from the back has been instrumental in United's improved defensive performances this season. While United triggered a one-year extension in Maguire's £190,000 per week contract last month, the club is now exploring the possibility of offering him a new deal on revised terms. This move is not just about rewarding Maguire's form, but also about creating financial flexibility for the summer transfer window. By securing Maguire's future, United can avoid the risk of losing him on a free transfer at the end of next season. Additionally, a new contract could help the club balance their wage structure, freeing up resources to invest in other areas of the squad. According to Give Me Sports sources, United are keen to improve their wage bill ahead of next season, and Maguire's new deal is seen as a step towards achieving that goal. The club's hierarchy believes that tying down key players like Maguire will provide stability and allow them to focus on bringing in new reinforcements.